Hey guys, my name is Attorney Walter, if not the third. I know we don't have the usual background. I know that there's an AC unit in the left-hand corner. I know the lighting isn't perfect, but I'm on vacation in Maine. So just suck it up. We're going to make it through this video. President Biden is not going to pass a $2,000 stimulus boost per month UBI variant. It ain't going to happen. And here's why. And I understand all the clickbait videos out there, and I understand they're like, rah, rah, rah. I even understand that there are Democrats that are backing this and that are joining hands together singing Kumbaya, that this is an awesome and amazing thing. Even one of them's from the Ways and Means Committee. But it ain't going to happen. Let me go through some of the basic things here so that you understand what's going on. I am becoming the great debunker of these YouTube videos that are out there, explaining all these amazing things that are coming your way. Some of them are the variant version of the Social Security 2100 Act, which will boost your benefits. That's actually being worked on. We'll have more videos specifically on that going forward. But I need you to understand this whole fourth stimulus, you're going to get $2,000 per month extra going forward until COVID's over. Well, COVID's almost over. That's A. B. There's no budget for this. So, all right, first thing, he has not budgeted for this $2,000 per month per person, yada, yada. And just because Jimmy Gomez, gentleman represented from the Ways and Means Committee, stated that he wrote the president a letter, which, by the way, writing these people a letter is okay. It's not usually very helpful. I mean, when it comes from somebody like that, it's more helpful. But what they actually need to see is a bill mock-up. They need to see a bill that has co-sponsors that can then be made into law. Otherwise, these cutesy letters going, it'd be great if you gave everybody a pony and a unicorn. It's useless, guys. It's useless. When people are like, I wrote them a letter. Unless you write them a letter that explains the statute language that's going to be used as part of the bill to be converted into law, unless you do that, it's just, come on. Oh, I wrote a letter and it meant the world to them. Come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, a little bit of thought. A little bit, All right, so let's talk about this whole $2,000 thing. A lot of people like it because it is akin to the whole UBI aspect. A lot of people don't know what UBI is. It is Universal Basic Income. It is something that was promoted at the prior Democratic base for presidential election. It was not a big thing for Biden's campaign, which is essentially the whole idea behind $1,000 per month per every person to go ahead and live, survive, and increase their livelihood going forward as an American citizen. Cute, cool, I like it, it's neat. It would destroy SSI benefits and SSDI benefits for those individuals who are essentially disabled, because it would create a great imbalance financially for those individuals to receive that check and not that check. And then, of course, there would be another issue, which is that a lot of the people who have been getting more money right now, or more money over the past couple of weeks and months and almost a year and a half now, it would kind of, pull back the likelihood that they would go find another job. And just to be clear, when you guys hear that argument, you're like, that's terrible. Of course not. Let me just specify something. When people get money as part of unemployment, and the unemployment is pretty darn high, like let's say it's not as high as they were earning before, like most people, okay? Some people it's higher, but they're a small group. But most people, the unemployment they're getting right now is less. But still, that person doesn't have to go to work. That person doesn't have to take a shower in the morning to get ready. They're just getting these instant funds. They don't have to spend extra money for extra food and this and that. They're not running around as much. They're not putting as much wear and tear on their vehicle. So you have to figure out, okay, how much less are they really getting in comparison? So the reality is this, and a lot of people are getting significantly less, but it is a hindrance to them going to get another job going forward. You've seen the Republicans coming out and saying, we want to cut it off early. We don't want to continue to receive this federal benefit for the people and things like that. I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea. They're worried about it hindering society's job options. I mean, look, I'm going to be honest with you. When I go to, and I eat a lot of crap fast food. When I go to fast food places, they're looking for people to work there. When I went to go get a haircut, they were looking for people to work there. When I went to go to the dentist, they were looking for people to work there. When I went to go to the hardware store, signs all over the place looking to hire for people. That's just where I live. I don't know what it's like where you live. I don't know if they're all trying to hire people, but where I live, everybody's trying to hire somebody right now. In fact, I have employees. I have one employee that found a higher paying version of the job that I gave that person, and they're now switching to go do that job because they're going to make more, with that other job, even though they didn't ask me to. But that's a young person. They don't know how to negotiate. But the bottom line is this. The point is, the jobs are there. Companies are restarting and revamping. Now, realistically, with this said, and I know this is about the $2,000 and not other political stuff. All right, we'll go back to the $2,000. So the bottom line is that this is not even in truly a bill form yet. This is like a letter to the president from somebody that's on the Ways and Means Committee. If it was made into a bill, it would need co-sponsors, and a handful of co-sponsors is not what you would need to push this thing through. You would need like 100 co-sponsors, and you would need a couple of co-sponsors to come from the Republican side as well, which I don't know if they would do that. You might get a couple. Okay. Number 4, the country is now around somewhere between 23 and 87 trillion in debt. So what happens is basically when somebody that says, hey, I'm going to send a letter to the president that says we need to give these people $2,000 a month. That's not a bill. That's not actual statute language that they're trying to create. That's like the basic fundamental cop-out for an individual who is in the legislature, in the people who make law. That's like the worst. It's like the worst thing that you could hear them say when they're like, I sent a letter to the president. That's useless. The president would need a bill on the table with lots and lots of sponsors. And not like a handful of sponsors like they're talking about. It's got a handful of Democratic senators. It's got 7 here. It's got 3 there. It doesn't need that. It needs like 100 co-sponsors, and some of those need to be Republicans. So, when these people on YouTube are selling this idea that, oh, it's in the mail, it's coming, Biden did it, the check's coming to you tomorrow, they are lying. They are lying. And then some of them, they play that game where they'll put that in like the little thing up top, the little video icon that you choose, right? And then their whole video is 15 minutes about basically, wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't it be awesome? Wouldn't that be super duper duper uber great? Oh, it would be so great. Guys, come on. Like, come on. You know what I mean? All right, so let's talk about this real quick. The country, so there's not enough co-sponsors, not a bill for that, for the $2,000 extra per month. It's nothing. None of that exists. None of the important stuff. One person, Jimmy Gomez, representative, sent a letter to President Biden. He's got some people co-signing on with him for a letter. That's useless. Totally and completely useless. And they're like, oh, it'll be $2,000 extra per month until COVID ends. COVID's ending soon. Come on. And look at Florida and Texas. It almost doesn't even exist here in a sense of what it used to mean and be and things like that. I mean, I haven't literally gone into a place with a face mask on for a month or more. So it's just different here. Like if you're watching this in California, or you're watching this in Maine, or you're watching this in wherever, it's just different in Florida. It's different in Texas. And I'm in Maine right now on vacation. So, but even here, I'm not wearing the mask. Nobody's wearing a mask around here. So anyway, the country is now around somewhere between 23 and 87 trillion, which in debt. And the reason why there's such a massive swing there is because nobody actually knows how super extra trillion-y the country is in debt. But we know it's not 23 trillion because in February of 2019, we knew that the debt was around 22 trillion. And then basically we spent 2.3 trillion, 2.1 trillion, and 1.9 trillion on our $1,200, $600, and $1,400 stimulus payments. Which is ironic because you would think Biden would spend a lot more, but it's actually Trump spent a lot more than Biden did on both of his, setups versus the whole Biden thing, with his $1.9, $1,400 stimulus. That was supposed to be $2,000 to everybody. Remember that? But I'm not getting on him. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Anyways, the point is this. So if you take 2.2 trillion, you take 2.3 trillion, you take 1.9 trillion, you basically end up with 6.4 trillion that you have to then add on top of the 22 trillion that we had before, which gets you to 28.4 trillion, which is significantly more than 23 trillion, which is what they said we might have right now. So we know 23 trillion is not accurate. We know it's at least 28 trillion or more, and that would be basically your bottom line figure. So pretty sad. The country's never been in this much debt, and the more we increase our debt, the more problems we seem to run into. We could legalize marijuana, we could forgive student loans, and then you'd see lots of people buying houses, doing amazing things, and it would largely recuperate this broken economy, but still somewhere some of this debt has to be forgiven by other countries. It's just that much. It's that much debt. So kind of the bottom line here is that this whole $2,000 a month recurring UBI variant, is not going to happen. It's not. It's just not. It's not in the cards. There's not enough money. It's just not going to happen. So I know that these other videos are creating this like, it's in the mail. Biden did it. Woo! Yay! Blah, blah, blah. All that, it's useless. It's all manipulation. And I feel bad for you guys. Remember, when I started my law firm, I would do seminars at the local libraries, specifically around Orange County, to dispel all of like the inaccuracies that people were telling different people about disability law. And like these other people would be like, I know how it works. I'm an advocate. I know how it works. And then they would fill like the person who's trying to get it, their brain with all these lies and mistruths and disinformation. And then all of a sudden I would get them. They'd be like, well, they told me this and da 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 da. I was like, whoa. So this is my version of that, trying to get rid of this disinformation out there that is just wildly rampant at this point. Now, with that said, you are likely to get a boost with your Social Security benefits, and it's a pretty decent boost. It's likely to be 125% for the bottom line increase above the poverty level. So, that's a pretty sweet deal. That's a very good deal. But that's part of the Social Security 2100 Act, which has to be completely rewritten because of all this COVID stuff, taking all the financial data that we had before and making it totally and completely useless, which, by the way, it was reviewed and it was promoted and accepted and validated by the analytical team that's in charge of the financial information for the Social Security Administration. So, like, that is the act that's going to be coming forward at some point. So for a lot of these people out there that are like, oh yeah, $2,000 extra a month, it's coming to you tomorrow, they're full of crap. They're lying. And I'm sorry that you have to go through that. And some of them are even disabled and telling you that. And they should know better. A disabled person should know better than other people that you don't mislead disabled people. They're at a disadvantage because of their impairment, and you shouldn't put them at more of a disadvantage, because what you're doing is you're creating the hope, the feeling, the wonder that they can go out and get an investment, a credit card, a new this, a used that, whatever, and then they're more in debt that they can't pay it off. Don't do that to disabled people. They got it tough as it is. You don't need to be the disabled person that sells them down the river. It's wrong. It's wrong. Think about it. If you ever watch this video and you're that person doing that, it's wrong. It's wrong. All right? Anyways, guys, I'm just going through the notes here. Bottom line, I'm going to be doing another video on the American Dream. And then basically after that, I'm going to take a break because I am on vacation, my one vacation of the year. Have an absolutely wonderful day. Remember to like, subscribe, leave 5-star reviews if you can. They help me compete against the other law firms. Treat people well. Treat people nicely. The most precious thing we have on this earth is life, and I feel like we're only really starting now as a people, as a society, to realize that we need to protect it a heck of a lot more than we currently do. And I'm not trying to get gushy on you, but just think about life. Think about humans that have supported you throughout your life. Think about humans that haven't. But think about life. Life is the basic fundamental that we need to just, as a race of beings that are part of the animal kingdom, that are trying to get, unfortunately, a dollar here, a dollar there to make our lives better. The truth of it is, guys, we need to just be more aware of how we need to treat our friends and the people that help us better. Think about that too, like utilities. Like, when are we going to start defining, and I know President Biden talked about this, which I really, really like, but why don't we have, and I understand the technology and Elon's just gotten there with the Starlink system, but why don't we have internet for everybody as a utility, a basic fundamental utility? Healthcare for everybody. It's going to be expensive, but it's going to be a heck of a lot more expensive for all those corporations to go ahead and afford their upkeep with the medical insurance that they have to give them, right? But that's not what they do. What the corporations do is they make it so that people can't afford their medical insurance. And the medical insurance groups keep going to the lobbyists to go ahead and boost the amount that they can get per year. If we just control these big money groups, we could make it work for everybody. We could literally not have homeless people. We could literally have everybody on health insurance. We could literally innovate the future of medicine like Israel's doing. They are way ahead of us. We're America. We're awesome. We can do this. So, anyways, I'll catch you guys a little bit later. Have a wonderful day, and thank you so much from me. All right, bye bye.